Good morning, students. Welcome to Swayam Learning Point. So we are back, right, to sports and history. That's your lecture number 2. So we are going to start from where we will begin from where we have stopped in the previous lecture. So right now we are going to get acquainted with the concept of globalization of sports. What do you mean by globalization? Simple words, globalization is basically when the sports, at a global level throughout the world, oh, acha, ye game khela jata hai. Oh, this is the game. It's basically termed as globalization. Now, the field of sports in the 20th and 21st century, it was influenced a lot by the process of globalization. So it got influenced by the process of globalization, and international matches of various sports like cricket, football, lawn tennis, lawn mein jo khela jata hai, that can be watched. Right now the scenario is such that you need not go into the stadium and watch the match. Right now, sitting the four walls of the house also, you can view a match which is being played somewhere else in a different part of the world, right? You can enjoy it. So now you have accessibility bahut zyada hai. So that's what's called as globalization. The citizens of the non-participant countries can enjoy these matches. So before, what was the criteria? Only those two, like if you have a country A and country B playing the matches, so only those two countries the people could view the match. The other people belong to country C, D, they could not watch the match. But right now the trend is completely different. So if your country is not a participant, right, still you can view the match, right? So this is only possible because of globalization. So the best example is a World Cup winning match played by Indian cricketers. So the match in the World Cup match where India was playing, right? So irrespective of India, every people could watch, irrespective you are an Indian or a non-Indian. You don't belong to India, but people of other countries also could watch. That is what the trend phenomena which has drastically changed, and that is why it's called as globalization of sports, right? It has scattered all over the world, and completely the structure of sports and economy, it generates a lot of economy. It's a match. Many times we have seen matches, right, where you have, the players have jersey, and behind the jersey they have the name of that particular, team, and then they have the brands, right? Maybe it's Reebok brands, right? So automatically ये जो matches होते हैं ना, it provides entertainment. Okay, matches are for entertainment, industrial and commercial big branded company look it as an opportunity to advertise their wear. It is basically they advertise the product. It's a platform, because these games are held at a global level. It's not held in a small arena, it's held at a global level. And retired sportsmen also have an opportunity to participate as commentators. So big cricketers, irrespective whether you're a cricketer or whether you're a retired football player, you can make a mark in the arena of commentators. We have Harsha Bhogle, we have Sachin Tendulkar, we have Saurav Ganguly, we have so many people are there. They were basically sports people who had stopped playing matches or they retired, and now they had made a comeback as commentators. It's really an incredible job. Games, material and toys. Okay, they say the means and equipments for the entertainment and education of children are called as toys. So toys in simple words, somebody asks you, it's nothing but the equipments which is used as a means of entertainment, and it also educates. It is used as a means of educating the children. Clay toys have been found in the archaeological excavations, right? Small toys, right, which was completely made of puff clay. That itself shows that in the ancient civilization also toys did play a important role. Remember, in the first lecture I said that the origin of sports started when mankind came into existence. The same thing is applicable here, and that time the toys were fashioned either by hands or by using molds. You have different shapes, okay, and dolls are mentioned in the ancient literature. A Sanskrit play by Shudrika is named Richikatika. It means a clay art. So right from the ancient time, in books, in literature, the names of the toys are specified. Now let us see toys and history, origin. The toys gives a very clear picture, or it gives an insight about the history and technological development. we come across, we get a glimpse of the various religious and cultural traditions, culture and tradition. Like, and as a part of traditional Diwali celebration in Maharashtra, model forts are made. Forts are usually made up of mud, right? And clay images of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his soldiers, and also people and animals are placed in a model forts, right? This tradition, why do you have this kid doing you beautiful, I have seen people making beautiful, children making beautiful models of the forts, right? And then they have that flag, they have the animals posted, and it's such a pleasing sight to the eyes. So what are this is basically a tradition. It is basically keeping the memory alive, that what was the importance of forts in the history of Maharashtra. It is something, you may be in the 21st century, you may be much techno savvy, you may be surging ahead in terms of growth, but somewhere else you need to keep the tradition alive. And at that particular time, what was the importance of fort for you? Now it may be a monument, it may be a pleasure hunting that you just go down to trek, but at that particular time, the forts was of considered, was, it was the lifeline of the people. An ivory doll made by Indian craftsmen found an excavation of Pompeii, an ancient place in Italy. So this was a very ancient place in Italy, and when they were excavating the site, they found a small doll, ivory doll, which is made basically, the horns of the animals, usually elephants and rhinoceros, was basically used. And they realized that, and that particular ivory doll, it was related to 1st century CE, and it was basically made by Indian craftsmen. Okay. And what does it show? It shows that particular time we had the Indo-Roman trade relations. The Indian and the Roman people had trade relations, right? And it also shows that particular time also there were a lot of cultural contacts between nations in the ancient time. So you having a good relationship with a country, or you have trade with a particular country, is nothing new, out of nothing. It's not something rocket science. Right from the ancient times also, the excavation site, it was clearly seen that time also trade relation between Indo and Roman did take place, and that showed that there was cultural contacts between nations in ancient times. Okay. Sports literatures and movies on sport. Many of the people, many of the players who have made a mark in a particular sport, you have seen they start writing books of and encyclopedias of sports, where they mention the detailed aspects of the sport, the rules and regulation, how, and it is a newly developing enterprise. It's being developing slowly. The history of Malcolm has been recently published. There's an encyclopedia on the subject of exercise. Imagine, guys, a complete encyclopedia completely on the subject of exercise. And some years also there was a sports magazine named Shatkar. And there's ample literature available in English. So even if you see, you have literature pertaining to sports in English also, it's available, right? And there are certain television channels exclusively devoted to, so 24/7 at any point of time you go to that particular channel, Star Sports, you'll find different types of games, right from WWF wrestling to, you may find the tennis, or you may find the rugby, or you may find the baseball. So these channels 24/7, they're completely or exclusively devoted to sports. So this is basically, you can say, the trend which is catching up quite fast, you can say that, right? Recently, if you have come much ahead, we have come where movies are made on movies on sports and biography of players have been released in various languages. For instance, we have the films like Mary Kom and Dangal, right? Mary Kom, she was the first female boxer to participate in the Olympics and to win a bronze medal. Okay. And Dangal is basically on the life story of Fogart sisters, who were the first Indian female wrestlers to win gold medals at various international competitions. So these movies showed as to how they had a n number of obstacles and how they overcame those obstacles. Whether it was Mary Kom, who had to trek down the terrain to fetch wood, or whether it was the Fogart sisters who entered into an arena which was exclusively meant for males. They had their own people issue, they had their own difficulties, they had their own obstacles. They overcame those obstacles and they made a remark. So these movies are an eye-opener or they are motivational. Okay, they motivate you कि अरे यार ये कर सकते हो, why not us, right? So these are some of the you can say you can say these are some of the motivational movies which really says अरे यार these people haven't achieved fame easily. They had their own struggle, they had their own ups and downs in life, right? The process of making a movie. So you're making a movie on Forgot Sisters, or you're making a movie on Mary Kom, or you're making a movie on any sports personality. You have to have a deep study of the particular period, right? So the struggle the person had, the story, the language, the dressing style, the social life. So Mary Kom was from the terrain region, so she has to track down for getting woods, and for wood she has to travel, she has to she had to look after the house, look after the kids, and then she had to go for wrestling, okay, for the boxing, boxing, right? So you have to mention that in detail. You can't just give a vague thing about her life. Students of history are well trained to research in this kind. So students in history, they do have a lot of research material, and it is also essential for writing articles in various publications. Okay, so you want to write something in a newspaper, an article, you want to write something in a sports magazine or in encyclopedia. Yeah, guys, you need to have knowledge about it. Unless and until you don't have knowledge about the sports, you cannot write any article in encyclopedia, newspapers, or in sports magazine. So history again comes to your rescue here. Sports and professional opportunities. Many a time people have a misconception कि अरे यार professional opportunities कुछ नहीं है, career comes to you. In what do I do in sports? No, there are professional opportunities in the field of sports also. Yeah, although sports and history appears to be distant as subject, कोई तालमेल नहीं है, like अरे यार. No, there is a close tie between them. Okay, yeah, students of history. They have a lot of opportunity in the field of sports journalism. So the sports journalism who are you are covering in particular articles, and usually we have a trend that we compare a particular match with that of a match which had taken place 2 years back, 3 years. You have a parallel comparison of that match, what was the scene, how was it, right? And you also need to resort to history. You need to take the help of history when you have to write articles, reviews. Okay, what is the feedback? The same incident had took place 2 years back in a particular match. What was the review? You have to have everything. Reviews about sports events like Olympics or Asiad or national, international matches. So for everything you require the help of, you just can't have your eyes closed and just go about with it, right? Expert commentators are in demand during sports matches. So during sports matches, you require commentators who give flawless commentary regarding a particular match, who gives you details about the same, right? But guys, he needs to have good knowledge of the history, the statistics, the figures, the previous record, when was the previous record broken, who are the eminent players, the historical anecdotes. Okay, anecdotes is a small incidents which has taken place. Okay, this year in this ऐसे हुआ था, related to a concerned game, or not relating to something else. You are giving a commentary of cricket and giving anecdotes about a football match. That cannot be. Anecdote is always pertaining to the concerned game. Again, my dear friends, here knowledge of history is useful. So you cannot just have a mic and just go on, just opening your mouth, blah blah blah, without knowing the head and tail about it, right? So again, history comes to your rescue. So we do have commentators like Harsha Bogle, who plays a fantastic, a marvelous job in the field of commentators. We do have matches of various sports, sports like cricket, football, kabaddi. They are shown live, right, on televisions of various channels, right? And the professionals who are completely into, professionals, they keep a track, they keep a record of the telecast from the various channels, right? So whenever they are giving, whenever they are having a commentary on a particular match, they try to compare it with the similar lines which has taken place. So they do keep their eyes and ears open. They just ensure that whenever the matches, they keep a record of the matches in minutest detail. And there are many professional opportunities available in this field. Yeah, people saying you don't have a professional opportunity. Guys, mark my words, there are professional opportunities available in the field of sports also. Referees, absolutely. They are the ultimate people who are required in a match. Referees are one of the essential factors of sports matches, right? Trained referees, they are trained referees, right? And they do have qualifying examinations. And qualified referees, they work at district, at state, national, international levels. Also for international matches also they play a very they do participate, right? And the government had come a step ahead by ensuring that they promote sports in private sectors by giving scholarship are offered, so that people come ahead. And not only that, in government and private establishments, certain seats are exclusively reserved for the students who has participated at state level matches. So again, they are one of the referees. Referees are also an essential factor of a sports matches. Thank you so much, kiddos. Stay home and be safe.